We all understand the type of climate that we're dealing with. We're dealing with multiple offer situations.
I'd love to know sort of what's your why? What makes you tick? Why are you so successful?
Have a dialogue with your lawyer. Have a dialogue with your agent.
Both sort of passionate about sort of what we do.
Again, vet your agent to make sure that they're experienced and they're local. I like that idea.
No excuse to miss it on Saturdays from 8 to 9.
That's right.
WBZ.
And now, the show that gives you the latest and most relevant housing market news. Real Estate Radio Boston with financial expert Rick Shearer and legal professional Ali Alavi.
Tell us a little bit about
Walsh
Home Inspections and your company, how long you've been doing this, and where do you service?
Excellent. Yeah, Walsh Home Inspections is a 6-person home inspection company. We serve all of Rhode Island and eastern Massachusetts 7 days a week. So we can service basically most of our listening area here, except for those other 35 states or 36 states that you guys cover.
Right.
We've been in the business for about 13 years, so we've got a lot of expertise going forward here and a different inspector for everybody's needs.
And one of the things that you guys specialize in is educational home inspections. You guys pride yourselves in actually walking through and all the systems and everything with the home buyer. So you recommend the home buyers be there for the home inspection because you're going to give them a lot of education.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll walk people through the whole process of what the house is, what they're buying, the good things, the bad things, things that need to be done for maintenance, explain to them how things work so that they have a full understanding or at least a decent understanding of what their equipment is, how old it is, what the life expectancy is, and hopefully give them some heads up for any unseen or potential issues that could pop up down the road.
We're hitting some really, really cold weather. How does that change sort of the approach with these cold months coming up as far as your inspection is concerned? The people, what should they be aware of?
Yeah, well, people buying houses, this is the time of year that we can't check your air conditioning systems. So that's something to keep in mind. We have to go off of statistics of age of the equipment, visual condition of it, and any service records that we can find off of it because it's unsafe to run the system if we haven't had a sustained temperature of at least 60 degrees for about 72 hours or we can damage the system. So just like in the summertime, it's hard for us to run the heating system sometimes. If it's 90 degrees out, we can't get the heating system to kick on. We kind of have to go off of visual condition and ages of things. So there's certain elements that are seasonal that we can't test.
And you should expect to have problems. It's just a matter of putting those problems into perspective. What advice do you have to offer there?
Realistic expectations of a home inspection of what it is. We cannot see through walls. We cannot predict the future. We're there to tell you exactly what's going on at the day and the time that we are there. I can't tell you what happens 6 hours after I leave and the homeowner comes home. We can only tell you in that snapshot of things. So if there's something going on behind a wall and you decide you're going to rip down a wall and then you find that there's bad wiring or a hole in something back there, there's no way that a home inspector would be able to tell that without doing damage to the property. So having certain expectations, it's a boring read, but the state of Massachusetts has the standards of practice online for what a home inspection actually is.
Yeah.
And you could read through that and kind of get an idea of what we do and what we don't do.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about your company. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And then we really want to dive deep into Winthrop and really, where is it?
Well, Ali, Rick, first I want to thank you. It's my first time on the show, Boston Radio, Real Estate Radio, and I'm excited about it. A little bit nervous. I don't often come on radio programs.
That's all right.
You're doing fine.
But to answer your question, my wife and I founded Highland Real Estate 38 years ago. We're a family-owned business. I have 2 children in the business with me.
Awesome.
We've got between 15 and 17 agents that work. Some of them have been with me 30 years. Our average length of time that the agents have been with Highland Real Estate is about 20 years.
So you're doing something right.
It's like a family. We work together, and I think part of the reasons for our success, you hear a lot of slogans, customer service, we put the client first. Mm-hmm. If you're going to survive in this world and keep in business for 38 years, it cannot be just a slogan. It has to be real. It has to be ingrained in your agents, in the company's motto, culture. And I think that we've done that. We care about our clients. We want them to be happy with our service.
Are you seeing, and I think you may have alluded to this already, but some of the activities that we're seeing in East Boston, a couple of years ago we were predicting that East Boston is really the next up and coming sort of geographical area as being close proximity to the city. Is your town benefiting from the activity that we're seeing?
Absolutely. We've seen our single families rise about 15%. The average sale price is running around $400,000 now. That's up about 15% in the last year. Condos are up around 17%, and the multifamilies are about the same, maybe 12%. So yes, the benefits of what's going on in East Boston is definitely coming to Winthrop. We're the next stop. I mean,
Absolutely.
the next stop is out into the ocean. So
That's it.
you go to East Boston, Winthrop, it's a natural.
What is your sort of word of wisdom as far as buying, owning versus renting? So give us a little advice there.
There's been a lot of talk about that. And of course, when you have a downturn like we had in 2008, renting looks much better. Mm-hmm. But if you have to look at real estate over the long haul. I know that my own experience, some of the real estate that I own, I've always told young people, if you can buy, especially if you can buy a multifamily and have the tenants pay down your debt, it's a forced way of savings. And I think that when you do a rent comparison, yes, I think if you look at it from year to year, some rentals can be less expensive than owning. But we all know that if we have a buck in our pocket, we tend to spend it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you own a home and you're paying down your debt, it's sort of a forced saving. So I think overall, buying is the way to go. And plus you have, you own your own castle. I mean,
Right.
that will never go away.
We're excited to have actually Elise Baer, one of your friends from RMS Mortgage, back by popular demand as well. Hi, Elise.
Hey, Ollie. Hey, Rick. How you guys doing?
Good. What's going on? This is things have been changing since the last time we were on the phone. We've got Trid. Dun 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 has come out. Why don't we just do a quick recap on where we're at with Trid, and then let's talk about some VA and USDA programs. How things going? How things?
Good.
So Trid, how are you guys dealing with Trid?
Well, we as a company were getting ready a year and a half ago, so we've been operating in this mode all along. So we're 100% ready. Our files are going, at the same pace. Obviously, just get them in and get them ready to close like we've done before. Obviously, there's just some new guidelines, getting used to things. It's just like anything. We all keep saying we made it through Y2K. If people can remember that, so we'll make it through this.
If you are a veteran or a veteran spouse, and you're contemplating getting a loan, a VA loan, there are different outlets, but I would encourage the listeners to definitely contact Elise Baer because you have your own in-house VA individuals, underwriters that would be able to push this along and meet those timelines.
Right, to kind of just explain that a little further without getting into too much detail. It's just that what people cannot see behind the scenes is there are a few little nuances to the VA loan, but just like anything, if it's explained up front and addressed up front versus addressed at the end of the transaction when everyone's looking to close, that's when you can run into problems. So you really do want to deal with people who have done the loan program before and know what they're doing so you don't run into any last-minute issues. And we do a lot of VA loans here. We have delegated underwriters, and again, behind the scenes, it's called having your full eagle, and that's what our underwriters have. So they are, continually updating themselves on the VA guidelines and the program, and have full knowledge of what they're doing. Which is why we don't have any issues. But I've, definitely have heard other stories. So when you hear people having problems, I can kind of see why they're running into the problems, but I can see why we don't run into them. Is because we do so many, and we know the program, and we know what we're doing.